Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. Hopefully your Sunday went well. Hopefully your Monday started off pretty decent as well. If it's not, guess what? You still got a lot of Monday left to make it up. So let's dive right in. Today's title, I love it, is Be an Example. And I think that's fitting because that's what I tell you guys every single day is to go be an example. So it says, Jesus, knowing their thoughts, took a little child and had him stand beside him. Then he said to them, whoever welcomes this little child in my name welcomes me, and whoever welcomes me welcomes the one who sent me. For it is the one who is least among you all who is the greatest. It's Luke 9, verses 47 and 48. It says, Jesus used all kinds of lessons to teach his followers. He used fish, he used bread, he even used olives and figs. A few times, Jesus used children to teach the adults. He said that everyone needed to be like a child to be part of God's way of life. Did that mean he didn't want people to grow up? Not at all. But children are important to God too. Girls and boys, no matter their age, can have a relationship with God. I think a lot of times we learn so much from children, so much that we don't realize. Being a teacher, a lot of times I think I'm teaching these kids, and I am. Obviously I am, but they teach me so much in return as well. And I just sit and I think about that sometimes, that, I'm teaching these kids, but they're also teaching me so much in return. Because at your age, so at a kid's age, you probably don't have to worry about work, making money, buying food, or caring for a family because you trust the adults in your life to provide for you. Jesus didn't want the adults to forget what they had learned as children. He wanted them to remember to focus on God first, to keep life simple enough that they don't forget God's ways, to let God be in charge instead of worrying about how they would take care of life. So he says, hey, take a look at your children. They trust you. I want you to trust me like that. Did you ever think you'd be an example for your parents or other adults? You might just help them remember to trust God. I get the privilege to be around a lot of kids, whether that be at church, in my job, doing next gen camps, whatever it may be. I get the privilege to be around a lot of kids. And some just pull at my heartstrings a little bit more than others do. But I've got a set of kids that I love them dearly. They've been at the church for 19 months now, I think. But they are not permanently there. And so I love those kids. I love them with my whole being. But the other evening, I was actually over at the house that they live at, and we were playing around and stuff, and one of them asked the oldest one asked his brother if his dad was in church and went to church, and the brother said no. And he popped right back off and said, well, he needs to go to church. He needs to learn about God. He needs to learn about Jesus. And it was that moment that I was like, this kid knows what's up. This kid has been in church for 19 months, but he knows that you need to be in church, that you need to be around believers, that you need to learn about Jesus. He knows that. He's 8 and he knows that. And that's something that I think is going to stick with him for the rest of his life, is that you need to be in church. That even if stuff starts to go a different way, and, maybe he gets out of church for a little bit, but I think whenever he grows up and he's on his own, and he's going to say, I need to get in church. Because for 19 months, I was in a household that we went to church. And to me, that just opened my eyes so much that this kid has learned in 19 months that the place to be is in God's house. It says, Lord, thank you for my parents or guardians who love me and provide for me. Please provide for them and show love to them. Help us all to trust you no matter how grown up we get. We should trust God no matter how grown up we are. Because here's the deal, no matter how grown up we are, we're never going to be fully adult in our Christian walk with God. We can always grow more. And sometimes looking at those little children will help us grow and put our faith and our hope in Jesus Christ more. Everyone go have a great Monday. And of course, go be the example.